All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. State of the Whale Part 2. Pardon my nasally congestion here. I am dealing with the death that is cedar allergies here. But to make up for it, we have our two fearless leaders that will give you incredible updates and drip that sweet triple whale nectar in your ear. AJ and Max, how goes it?
It goes great. It goes great.
No nectar. I mean, maybe
Okay.
nectar.
You guys, yeah, you're sweet. You're sweet. So today we're going to start off as always. AJ and Max are kind of going to give us the haps on where the app stands, some cool stuff, what's going on with it, where it's going, and then from that we'll jump into your user questions. You can submit questions on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. If you're watching it anywhere, just pop the question into the comments, and we'll see it and get to it. So without further ado, AJ, the floor is yours.
Robert, we're still not logged in. You want me telling us like who's here?
Can you see?
What's that?
How many people are here?
There's 2 live watchers now, both from the Whale Sanctuary.
Great. We're excited to have you guys. Okay, good. Okay, did you send this to the team, Robbo, also? Drop a link
Yes.
into the team. Okay,
Yeah,
fantastic.
absolutely.
Okay, so where are we holding? Where team is growing, processes are getting put in place. I think,
Hope so.
yeah, January's proven to be, not yet, we're trying. January's proven to be exciting for us. A lot of opportunity, a lot of excitement around the product and what we're doing.
Pixel's working.
We're very grateful for that. Yeah, Pixel's working. Pixel's working. We're coming out of that hole. Pixel's working. It's working well. Got on with 2 clients today at Pixel, and they were like, they were blown away with what's going on.
And they used some of our competitors, right?
The actual results. Yeah. Some of them came from other competitors. I won't mention their names. So that's pretty big. On the Pixel side, what's still coming? Hopefully by Sunday, we'll have Google Ads in there. How to use Klaviyo is coming hopefully later tonight as well.
What do you mean how to use Klaviyo?
So we're launching in the tools section. There's in the UTM builder, there's going to be another tab for Klaviyo and how to set up your auto UTMs in Klaviyo to match the triple whale scheme.
So how to create UTMs in your Klaviyo account so that we can track them better on the app.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's
really
coming.
cool.
Wow.
Enquire getting baked into your results. So essentially we can dedupe post-purchase surveys because we know exactly who answered the survey and also who bought from a Facebook ad. And so getting those baked into everyone running a triple pixel should also have a post-purchase survey app running, either Know or Enquire. Those are the 2 that we work with right now, or Know's coming in next week.
Is there any more that you guys are using? So let us know. We'll try to hook them in.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's coming today. And then we have for next week, we also have the secondary stats, so like add to carts, view content, email sign-up rate, also coming up Sunday, coming and getting added to the. Rob, are you still there? You just gave us.
Yeah. Just gave you guys the big screen.
And then we have the conversion API for Facebook is going to go live early next week as well. So sending back data that we're getting from the Pixel back into Facebook. Hopefully we'll see some lift there. The match rates that we're seeing there are pretty amazing. So match rate on the conversion API just means when we send a piece of data back to Facebook, can they actually use it or does it match a profile? But if we send an add to cart back, do they actually know who that person was that did add to cart and can they use it? So that's pretty exciting. Then we have aggregated customer journeys is a sick screen that we're building out that is going to give you basically, essentially, instead of telling you which attribution model you should use, it's just going to lay out a journey of customers before they buy.
Mm-hmm.
Like where did they start? How many touch points did they have? They came from Facebook, they went to Klaviyo, and they went to Google, then they went to Klaviyo, and then they bought. Right? Understanding that journey will give you a better understanding of where to spend your retargeting dollars, when to send out your sequence, your post-purchase emails
Will this also have SMS to be able to see the cost per SMS signups?
So you'll have that already in the that's related to the stats, not actually to the journeys. But yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I kind of zoned out for a minute and just
Okay.
I blacked out. I don't know how.
That's all in Pixel Universe and Triple Proper Universe. We also have a ton coming. So we have social stats that are coming very soon. Essentially, all the organic stats for your pages on Instagram and Facebook. It's a pretty big feature. We have Recharge launching pretty soon as well. And then we have, we're working on importing all the Facebook data to our own servers to be able to start segmenting out your ad account
This
for
is
different zones.
more like relevant for like some of the European clients, right?
Also for if you're a US client and you want to, let's say, do your new customer ROAS, your new customer CPA, and you want to segment out a specific segment of spend, let's say your TOF, campaigns and build a metric off of that, that would open up that as well.
But also a good use case is some of the Shopify Plus guys out of Europe who have different storefronts for countries and maybe just one ad account. That's a good example of this. So we'll be able to segment the ad account associated with that geographic location and that dashboard.
Yeah, the other thing that's related to this is also graphs for, let's say, the creative dashboard will come in as well with this. So being able to graph out ROAS, CPM, CPC, CTR over time for your creatives and even segments of your creative, as well as graphs coming into the Pixel dashboard, so you can graph out different metrics over time and see how is this campaign ad set or ad trending over time. So those are the immediate, all that's in the immediate roadmap.
What on the agency side, right? There's some things on the agency side.
Yeah, so on the agency side, we have the combined view, which we essentially built, but it's not fully baked.
Portfolio view.
Portfolio view, yeah.
You see all your.
So the portfolio view is coming. I'm hoping also towards the end of next week as well. That's going to be in your all shop section for agencies, or if you have multiple stores, being able to combine blended data sets, and also doing real-time currency conversion on the fly, right? So if you have 5 different clients, 2 of them have different currencies, being able to see them all in one currency is important.
That's great. Another example of this, which I thought was a cool use case, is like an agency could send a link to their blended dashboard and say this is like our agency's. And
and then maybe embed it in your own website.
On your website, you can put that on there, right? You hear that, Rama?
Yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Essentially, besides that, we're also working on internal infrastructure for the app. So like user profiles, user management, payment links in the app. So your Stripe account's actually connected to the Triple Whale. So first of all, if you cancel a Triple Whale account, it should cancel your Stripe. If you upgrade your Triple Whale account, it should upgrade, right? Essentially, hopefully we grow with your store,
these are things
and hopefully your store ends up growing. So right now we have no way of knowing if you started at a $50 price point and you were doing $100 a month or whatever, and now you're doing $1 million a month. We literally don't know about it right now.
Take advantage while you can.
Yeah. So that's coming in. And then like in the longer term roadmap, we have a ton. So we have Amazon's coming in their longer term roadmap. Essentially, we want to get to a cadence of 2 new APIs a week. And we have also a ton of AI right now in the current roadmap. So a lot there. And
I love it.
Management system as well.
We also added, let me bring myself back in here, into the all shops dashboard. When you click on the bottom left in Triple Whale, you can actually search your shops now, which is really nice if you do have a bigger account and you have multiple shops. It was a lot of work to get through, more than like 3 or 4 shops. It was pretty crazy. The other thing that's really exciting is the creative dashboard is just really, really cool. And we're starting to see a lot of people really taking advantage of that by using the custom segment builder. Again, kind of what we touched on last time, being able to bifurcate their creatives in terms of the layer of the funnel, whether that be prospect and retargeting or bottom, middle, or top of funnel. Another thing that we're also playing around with, I still have to get AJ on board, but being able to segment spend by campaign name. So that way you can know how much you spent on either prospect and retargeting or your stages of the funnel as well. We've had a lot of people ask for that. So that could possibly come on the pipeline. I still have to bribe AJ about it, but lots of really, really cool stuff.
Well, that's part of the ad segmentation that we're talking about. You'll go through that.
There you go. Look at this. Steps ahead of me. It's fantastic.
Go for it. Oh, sorry.
Oh, nothing. The other thing I was really excited to talk about was what? Gosh darn it. I lost. Our custom metric builder. So that's something that kind of flies under the radar. And I've had a lot of people ask me that partner at the net profit level with their clients, or they're actually the business owner. You can absolutely use net profit as the numerator so that's the number on the top in POAS, and you can get essentially how much every ad dollar drives in terms of net profit. So that's absolutely totally legitimate. I've done it with clients in the past that we were really tightly partnered with, and it's really easy peasy to do in Triple Whale. You'll essentially just take your net profit, divide that by your total ad spend and your custom metric, and boom, you have POAS based off of net profit versus gross profit. So that was a question that somebody had asked us, and I never got to it. But yeah, 100% can do it, and it's actually it's probably the most efficient way or not efficient, that's a bad descriptor, the highest fidelity view of your business, because you're seeing how many ad dollars are driving how many net profit dollars, which is the last level of profit.
All right, cool. Yeah. The ad, there's a Triple Whale right now is in an interesting place because we essentially have so many tools in the app already, right? And we're starting to be hesitant of just adding more tools to the app because essentially we rolled up like 7 different apps into one app, right? We have a profit tracker, we have like a super
creative dashboard,
cross chat. We have a creative dashboard, which could be a separate product. We have a pixel attribution, which is a separate dashboard. We have LTV coding, which is a separate product. We have a calculator and an activity feed, which is a separate product. Essentially, we have like 7 or 8 or 9 different products.
Why we are turning it to OS. Right?
Where that is the bottom line of what Triple Whale is the OS. But on top of that, what we really are working towards right now is building the brain of the system, right? So how can we go ahead and take all these tools and make them talk, make the data talk to each other? Exactly. So like one use case I use constantly, right, was when I was running ads for Max. And we were running around 30,000.
You read my ads?
I ran your ads, yeah. And I was running like $30,000 a day on ads. One day it went down from 2.2 to 2.57 to 2.2 conversion rate. Now, for anyone running 30K a day, a 0.5% drop in conversion rate is a death sentence, right? You go from crushing it to losing money. You go from crushing it to losing it very, very quickly, and it was a lot of pressure. And mainly as the guy sitting in the ads, I was trying to just manipulate those bid cap, cost cap, and ROAS when those were still a thing. Are those still a thing, Rabba?
Yeah, so I still use post before I spun down my agency. I used bid caps actually a lot in terms of retargeting, where I would actually segment out. So like for me, retargeting has different layers of efficacy, and so add to cart past 30 days is obviously like the highest. So that would have a pretty liberal bid cap. And then I would have content views and then social touch points. And those 2 segments so I would use it to kind of hack, modulate. But yeah, you could still get by with cost caps, or I prefer bid caps, but they're kind of 6 of one, half dozen of the other. But they have definitely gone, or they're not as effective as they used to be, just because you're restricting what Facebook can do. And so by definition, if you have less data and you're making a bigger ask, it can get challenging. But at retargeting, it's great because they'll bet if it's a great day, and then they won't spend if it's not.
Of course. So basically, when we dropped on the conversion rate, I went to all these big cap, cost cap, and ROAS. It took me 5 days to realize that what happened was because we were a hair accessory brand, we ran out of, on our main products, we have a lot of SKUs because we have to match colors. And ran out of a lot of our secondary SKUs on our main product. And then actually, if you added all those, like, what was it, strawberry blonde and like
salt and pepper,
and all these different colors, you added them all up, they added to the 0.5.
Yeah.
So having just the system talk to each other and be like, hey, based on your current sales through, you're going to run out of X SKUs, which will make you, go down from a 2.7 to 2.2, which will make you lose money. Either tune down your ad or sell out of stock, both not easy choices. That would save me a lot of time.
Stock, baby.
Right. Like Max, I remember used to sit hours with spreadsheets of just inventory, right? It's like if we can solve that, which I don't think is such a hard problem. We essentially know what we need to do there, right? If we can then go ahead, right, we already have it in the product.
Yeah, I was going to show it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So this is the precursor to what we're going to be doing. Yeah, this is in the products page in Triple Whale.
And so you can
essentially that, and then also like I remember when I used to run ads, Rabba, and like I come into the ad account like at like 12 o'clock, and I see Facebook spent like $1,000, $500 on one creative and $500 another creative, and one's doing a 2.5, one's doing a 0.5.
Why
what the heck? Like why?
Why are they doing
and like every single time I set up rules, it always messed up my learning because it either shut things off too early or didn't turn things off I wanted it to turn off. Rules were always terrible for me.
Yeah.
Just having an assistant saying, hey, AJ, based on like this ad looks crappy, I think you should shut it off. Boom. Click of a button. That's where we really want to be as a business right now. Or, hey, this customer seems like sending an email to him will be a bad idea because you sent them 5 emails. And according to the last, 5 of his interactions. He might churn, maybe send them a nice email in a month from now, but not now. Those are all extreme value adds that we'll be able to bring that will actually move the needle for your brand.
Sure.
Yeah, and I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would also, just to kind of pile on a little more, I think ultimately too, what we're doing is giving you the capability to start identifying and acquiring actual people that want to be part of your brand and have an emotional connection that'll sell, that you can sell into, versus making sales. And I think that's what you're seeing right now is a lot of people that were really good at creating sales are having a really big challenge in this new economic environment because the arbitrage and Facebook's ads aren't as underpriced as they used to be. They're probably fairly priced, if not maybe a little bit more expensive than they used to be. And so I think you're seeing this huge shift into, or from what I've seen, the zeitgeist is shifting into people actually care about gross margin and net profit. And people also care about now building customer or a relationship with the customer that matters versus just trying to get a conversion. And I think the tools that we're giving are really at the cutting edge in terms of getting into customer behavior, purchasing decisions, purchasing preferences, things of that nature. And then you pile on the inventory management. That to me is out of stock or a payment method declined is like the kryptonite for a campaign or for an ad account that's crushing it. Like both of those are just absolute stopping in sand, man. And so being able to match up the demand with the supply with our inventory, and then hopefully your clients don't have the payment kerfuffles, but those are really the two biggest kind of ways to derail a really successful account. And so bundling that with the ability to understand who your awesome customers are. There's a great gal on Twitter called Hey Alex P. She's fantastic. She actually does some guest posts for us, but she had a really bit of a hot take, but I agree with it, where 75% ish of the LTV of the customer is essentially established before they even buy, because of the macroeconomic factors in that person's life. And so you can either A, spend a bunch of money and try and sell this person that just doesn't have the ability to give you more money, or B, you can actually acquire better customers. Better customers being people that have the emotional connection to the brand and also more disposable income. So I think you're seeing a shift where people are not only trying to acquire more customers, but customers of a higher caliber. And I think that's something that is fairly recent.
Yeah, I honestly think in D2C right now, but this is a theory that me and Max have for a long time. I think we share this deeply, right? Essentially 2 levers that you can pull in your brand, right? Only 2 levers you can pull, like fundamental ones, right? One is content, and for us, the way we did it and the way I think people should go about it is like creating an army of influencers to get tons of UGC. Just like UGC, sourcing the UGC at content is one, because essentially Facebook is like, Max, you told me this, right? It's like a gold mine. You're digging for gold, right? You're sifting through gold. And you find that one creator that hits and like, boom, it changes your ad account. I remember there were creators that hit. I took our ad account from like $150 a month in sales to like $400 or $500 a month in sales. And it's like one really crushing, and it could be an image, it could be a video. It doesn't like, sometimes it's an unassuming one, exactly. And then the second thing is products, right? So your offering has to be, paramount, but you also have to innovate. Like on Triple Whale, we work on innovating every day, and Max keeps on saying like, "He wished," he said it all the time.
Yeah. I mean, one thing I learned doing Triple Whale is like just asking people what they want and then getting it super fast.
Yeah.
And I think that if DTC brands did that, and I think that's a real recipe for success. Obviously, it's not as fast due to production times, but if you get a POD brand or something like that, you can do that.
Max, that's actually like a secret superpower. If people can work on getting their lead time down, it can really change the whole brand. I mean, these are things that people don't think about when they start a DTC brand. This is deep in the weeds, but so I'm thinking more and more of like the future. Like we just got off a call with a big brand doing close to $100 million a year right now, right? And one thing they're focused on is influencers. So we're thinking of how can we build these 2 systems? How can we build a system for influencer tracking at scale, right? To figure out the impact of that. Possibly also hosting your content. That's something we're thinking about, not something we're committed to yet, but maybe we're thinking about as well. And also possibly matching that out with like product testing, Essentially, if you had product testing plus influencers plus your paid media,
like agile product.
Exactly. Get a product in, run it through the activity feed, figure out how to affect your bottom line, rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
Rinse and repeat.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
No, I absolutely love that. You guys up for some questions?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
got
of
any
course.
questions? Yeah. Let's see.
All right, cool. We have a few. All right. Social stats. What's good? So
Coming.
organics, they're coming. Okay, cool.
So organic, they're coming. They're done. Essentially, we actually pushed them to production last week by accident, and we discovered we're using a Facebook scope for the permission.
What is this Facebook scope, dude?
Facebook, when you have a Facebook app, you have to ask for permissions for different part of their API.
Got it.
And so we asked Facebook for this permission, and now they're checking out the app. They're going to give us their stamp of approval.
Scope this out?
They're just giving us a stamp of approval.
Got it.
So that's coming very soon. Social Stats was built out with Team Firestore in mind. Right?
Yes.
So they Jess basically.
I want to bring Jess on this next week if we could.
Jess gave me like
for sure.
the basic stuff that we need to build out. So we're building based on feedback he gave me 4 months ago. So yeah, that's good.
We'll get to it
They just did a great revamp of their internal branding. Looks fantastic. Shout out Jess, Hire Fire Team. Wonderful feed. Okay, moving on. Any updates for the activity feed? Yeah, there's actually a ton. Do you want to take this, AJ, or?
No, you take it, Rabbi.
Yeah, so right now it's actually in a really good place. There is some challenges. So where you can see price updates, you can see email campaigns. The one challenge that we're actually working through is kind of improving the UI a little bit, because if you do have quite a lot of activity in your business, whether that be price changes, emails, etc., we're going to start rolling those up into days so you can actually get through that a little quicker, as well as kind of figuring out some ways to actually pipe that into a Slack report as well. We've heard you guys want to know whether if an email campaign went out, a Facebook campaign been launched, or what have you, and not have to look at the activity feed proper and being able to just schedule it. So yeah, it's been asked. Yeah. Slack Attack. Shout out Chris Mead, CrossNet. He brought back some life to the Slack Attack reports. So you can actually get your reporting in Slack if you aren't on that email tip, or if you're like me and your email is just this black box of hell that you only step into a few times a day. AJ, exactly, you know what I'm talking about. I never touch that thing, dude. It's so nasty. But too long didn't read, landing the plane there. The activity feed is in a really good place. There's definitely some UI upgrades, but right now it's actually essentially a chronology. If you guys are a Bitcoiner,
this is change log. The change log is in the activity feed right now.
Right. That's what I was trying to get at, is this chronology of changes in your business that you can see. And what's really cool is you can actually see the annotations if you select them on the graph. So, for example, if you hired somebody new, if you launched a new updated redesign, you onboarded some influencers.
You changed the price on a product.
Yeah.
That's what's really cool. So I was going through an account today.
Yeah,
it's pretty interesting to see the nuance that you can actually track there without doing anything. So this is all passive tracking. You don't have to do anything or input anything. However, like AJ and Max like to do, we like to give you choices and flexibility to work with whatever use cases you like. So you can actually add in custom events that aren't automatically pulled in. Like I said, if you have some sort of website update, new product launch, what have you, you can see that graphed on all sorts of metrics. So it's pretty slick, actually.
In the near future, the Pixel will also be picking up any code changes on your website and pushing them to the activity feed automatically for you.
Now that's interesting. You can yell at your IT guy or buy him a beer, or gal, and buy him a beer if they break the site.
Or anything. Imagine we had a story. Remember Black Friday?
What happened?
2 years ago, we sent out a pre-Black Friday email and we got no response. I'm trying to figure out what went wrong.
What was that?
It was a Klaviyo pop-up that was blocking the add to carts on mobile. Remember?
Beautiful.
Max was like, thank God. And then we did it Black Friday. We crushed it. But it was a great everyone was talking about we should launch our first Black Friday, and we got antsy about it, and we launched it, and it was good that we did because we discovered this bug. But that should be a drop off, right? The activity feed should be able to alert you about that automatically.
Yeah. Or how often are apps that you use injecting code into your site? You have no idea, and then you delete them, and it's slowing things down.
So not only that, we could get to a point where how many times did you access this app to start saving you some money? I've been in some clients, Shopify's, that are just spending crap tons of money. I'm talking $4,000 or $5,000 a month that they could get their Shopify Plus plan down a lot. So anyway, we're kind of in the weeds here, but there's a lot of really amazing things. And ultimately, this is going to be the video security system, if you will, of your marketing ecosystem. And you'll be able to know whenever somebody opens the door, locks the door, opens the refrigerator, steals a beer out of there. It'll tell you everything.
Exactly.
Okay, moving on. How's the Enquire integration going? Sensational.
Okay.
You want to take this, AJ, or?
You go for it.
Yeah, so it's actually going really, really well. Everything's in there. For people that don't know, Enquire Labs is a great post-purchase survey, and it's going to give you even more insight into your attribution. And AJ actually told me earlier today that we're baking it into pixel data as well. So a lot of really cool stuff where it's going to be this 360 degree of attribution where we're going to get everybody's viewpoint on it. And then the triple pixel will coagulate all that, coalesce them, and then give you the actual truth. So it's really cool here. No, also friends of ours, also another really great post-purchase survey. No is going to come in as well if you prefer them for your post-purchase survey provider. But both are in, or No is coming, Enquire is already in, and both are actually superb products. So you're not going to go wrong using either.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Recharge.
Where is recharge?
Recharge we did, Rob, but we sent you the numbers. Yep. We needed to QA them. They need some work to match up what you see.
Does anybody want to volunteer to QA them?
No, Rob QA. Rob is Mr. QA on recharge.
Yeah.
He got that. So we're going to get those done, but essentially it's going to be live soon. We're just waiting for the Tamar, the developer over there, to get it done and push it out. So hopefully, I was hoping this week, most probably early next week.
Yeah, she's actually doing a great job. It's a lot more complicated than I was imagining. The API is fairly complex, and then the terminology is a bit ambiguous. So what the API will give you and so it's not just precise. It's not just an actual implementation issue. It's actually aligning on the nomenclature of what Recharge says and what we're trying to convey. So it's actually, again, not necessarily this bug, but during the QA, there was some discrepancies, and it wasn't because we were pulling the wrong data. It was just, it's just a little more complex API than we were expecting. So we have Tamara on it, and she's a crusher. So coming soon. Okay, cool. You guys made it through. One last question. What are you most excited about? You both can go. I want to know your answers too.
What am I most excited about? Well, I'm most excited about the Pixel that's done. So the next thing I'm most excited about is building the infrastructure for scale. Essentially, I really do feel that the offering that Chippewa has today is not matched by any other product that is accessible today on the market. I just feel like we have to build the infrastructure to get it. That's basically it. It's a bit painful here in terms of the growth. There's so much growth happening. Yeah. And just being able to meet that growth and be able to support that growth in a way that doesn't make us work 18-hour days consistently, which is what we're putting in right now. That's the thing that excites me most right now. Those are a few months.
Yeah, internally, I echo the infrastructure it's painful. Like we went from a handful of clients to a lot of clients now.
We're about to be over 1,500. Yeah.
And our data is like a mess in terms of like managing these relationships.
It's funny you hear these apps.
But really, honestly, I'm pumped about what we're going to do for influencer tracking and things like that to measure that success there, because I think that's going to be paramount.
The next most infrastructure, team building, those are the two most exciting things on the immediate month for me. And the next thing right after that is by far AI. So how do we start surfacing up the right insights to the right people at the right time to move their business? How do we start predicting things and running things for you? That's the most exciting for me in the next 3 months. I'd say immediate right now is just focusing on infrastructure for scale and then focusing on the infrastructure for AI and building that out. Those are the two most exciting projects that I have going on right now.
I love that. For me, it's a bit of both where obviously the internal processes and stuff, that's awesome. But that's just kind of par for the course as you grow up and revenues increase, you have to just become more sophisticated. But what I'm really excited about is the reporting and the AI. So there's some really cool stuff coming around I've only seen glimpses of it, but being able to surface, for example, like the top 3 creative for that week or your top thumb stopping creative. So I just am really obsessed with our creative dashboard right now. I think that people getting their handle on what creative is driving what is going to be just as important as it could be. And so having this is just, it's so easy. I mean, it's literally so easy. There's some segments on there. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Beautiful reports also. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. Those are the 2 things that I think are really going to be catapult this kind of it'll feel like a step change, like the 3G to the 4, where it's like, wow, this is, and we're already rocking a pretty awesome phone.
There's a lot of little cleanup that we have to do
Sure.
right now. So that's also exciting. Like just making everything perfect, making it like the landing page is coming out in a week or less than a week. It's gonna be, like we have to get the product up to the landing page that we're building right now, and then that's gonna be exciting.
Yeah, and then the blog will come shortly after that, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Get him to commit it publicly, people. He's bought in now. But yeah, so I would say the reporting and the AI is really going to be cool, because just kind of circling back and finishing up, there's never been a system that has had more insight in your marketing ecosystem than Triple Whale. And so that's why these things haven't been built, because they haven't been able to see. And we can literally see everything. This kind of like, what's the Lord of the Rings Eye of Sauron, where we can see everything going on in your marketing ecosystem. And that's literally never been possible.
It's not your marketing, Robert, your whole business, right? We see everything in your whole business.
Everything.
And that's essentially the goal of Triple Whale, was to collect the data, visualize it, and automate it, right? And we're well on our way there. Yep. So
I'm pretty sure the blue whale has the biggest brain relative to body size. So
yeah, I mean, that's
there you go. It's yeah, whales and elephants. But anyway, yeah, absolutely. What else? We got some swag coming for the Pod 1 Pixelers. That should probably be about a month, 3 weeks or so. There's a little bit of lead time there, but that's really sweet. What else we got? New Facebook group in the Whale Sanctuary. Some people are already in it. Go sign up for that. We have a Slack channel, Narwhal Nation, invite only. Those will be going out soon. What else do we got, AJ? Whale Mail, obviously. Tuesday, Thursday, the best marketing email DTC out there right now. You know it. Don't at me. What else we got? Whale Mail, Slack attacks. Yeah. So lots of awesome stuff. We'll have a new podcast drop today. We talked to the founder of Audit, really, really smart guy, Sean Brandt, gives tons of CRO and just great insight into running an agency and stuff. You did, Max. You've been lax on a few podcasts.
I know.
We also have a really cool thing coming up. We're doing some profiles on some lady crushers in the DTC space. So be on the lookout for that. That's going to be a really cool series that I'm excited to get out. Yeah, other than that, I mean, we're just keeping on churning and burning, giving you guys better metrics to make more money. What else you guys got?
That's it for now.
That's it, guys. Thank you so much.
That's it.
Thank you,
2 states of the whale in. We'll see you guys next Thursday. Thanks a lot.
Robert, I think we should think about bringing guests. People on.
Oh, I like this. Yeah, we'll get a little
10, 15 minute guests.
Well, 20 minutes, whatever it is.
Yeah, we'll pop them in and out. Get a little 5-minute churn and burn.
Yeah.
You can throw some hot takes and then pop out.
That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah,
I love it. All right. Well, thanks again for joining us. Oh, guys, I think this might be a record 5 concurrents. I mean, this might as well be my first million kind of numbers here, people.
This is great. I love it. It's intimate.
It's compounding.
I like it.
It's great.
It's fun. Beautiful. All right, guys, we'll see you on the flip. If you aren't already involved in Triple Whale, try triplewhale.com. Go get signed up there. And then if you have any questions, we're on the Bird app at Try Triple Whale. Max and AJ are also on the Twitters, as well as I. Slide in any DMs. We are also, one more thing, building out the marketing team here in Austin. So if you are a high-level marketer, hit me up, Rabah, RABAH, at Triple Whale with your resume, and I can ping you a link we have some questionnaires and stuff. You got to be able to make memes. That's this kind of role. But anyway, all right, guys, thanks so much for the time. Max, AJ, always a pleasure, and we'll see everyone on the flip. Bye-bye.